Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to, well, welcome back to another anime review. It's that time now. We're in the month of June, the month of my birthday, so now it's that time I get to view another series of anime reviews now. I hope you all looking forward to them. But today I'll be reviewing the next anime I'll be reviewing, which it's like. If you put all three together, you could say it's a movie though, but it's actually like three separate stories, so like 3 episodes basically though. But you can say an OVA series. So it was usually released in 1990 until a little bit in 1991. Today we'll be looking into City Oedo. I think I got it right. Oedo, 808. So yeah, so it was an early 90s anime, and I just say no, I hadn't heard of this back then though, but so, and I want to say first time watching it, I enjoyed it. I thought for the animation for what it was from back in the day, which I always liked, how animation, when it comes to anime, I like how animation was for back in the day, like from the 80s and let alone the 90s. So for the animation it was from the 90s, it was pretty good. I thought it was very well made for the animation for what was made at the time. On a visual level, how the way the Cyber City looks, the Cyber City version of Tokyo, you can say, is very well made, and I like the design, how the design of the city is, and a lot of good little anime visual moments when it comes to the action, and definitely it is definitely R-rated. It definitely doesn't hold back on the R-rated, especially with the language, and there's some pretty good a lot of bloody moments too as well. So yeah, it's definitely R-rated on that, on that level, definitely. And this is from the director of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust and Wicked City, which I haven't seen those. But I enjoy Cyber City Oedo 808. And so it's separated in 3 separate stories, and each one is basically the focus on each of these 3 main characters here. Which these are 3 characters here, they're criminals, right? Which it kind of takes place in a kind of a way, like a years prior to Suicide Squad, because basically these criminals, like the higher up of the cyber police, right? They recruit these to become cyber police officers to basically do their dirty work, like whether a law enforcement can't handle, they can do that, right? They'll do it for them. And if they complete a mission, basically the leader of the cyber police will basically like knock off some time off their sentence if they complete their mission. And also they have to wear these collars around their necks, because if they don't do it as they're told, or if the leader of it will detonate and make their heads explode. Basically, it's kind of a way like a year. I wonder if Suicide Squad took notes from this, and took that whole idea and put it to this, I mean, I'm not sure. Well, the comics. I'm not sure if the comics were around in the early 90s. I'm sure they were newer, I guess, but I don't remember. But they had to take some idea from this idea, I guess. Criminals do police's dirty work and knock some sentences off, some years off their sentence, and then use these to obey. If not, they just blow their heads up, basically. So they had to like get some idea from that, I guess. But anyway, but our 3 main characters, the first story, which I like all 3. I like all 3 stories. Each one has good on action and visuals stuff on them, and if I were to put like which story I like the best, I would put it as story 2, then story 1, then story 3. So 2, 1, and 3. I put it in the order I picked it as the best of these. But we'll start with story number 1, which mostly focus on this guy here by the name of Sengoku. Yeah, Sengoku, yeah. He's definitely the more of the loudmouth, foul language of the 3. And so he is completed a mission of stopping this one guy. Then the leader told him to do this mission, and also they have this robot that's always assisted with them, basically to calculate whatever information they need, or calculate our information that they need on a subject that needs to be played out for their mission. That's always with them, and especially our guy Sengoku is always trash talking to the robots, and it's kind of funny. But the story is he has to go, which you see, it's mostly focused on him, but you do see our other 2 characters here. One is Gogol, or is it Gogol? There's a guy's name, Gogol, and then the other guy here, Benton. You see them in here though, but the main focus for the story is our character here, Sengoku, and they get called to this mission involving a skyscraper. I mean, this skyscraper is so very tall; it leaks all the way up into past the clouds. Which I'm like, this skyscraper, this kind of gives the glass tower from Towering Inferno a run for its money. As the glass tower that one was supposed to be the tallest building in the world. Well, this one is now deemed as the tallest building in the world. It goes all the way up, way past the clouds. I'm like, this tower here makes the glass tower from Towering Inferno a masterpiece compared to that. So I find that kind of funny, but something goes wrong. Something's going haywire at the place, and there are some hostages. Well, some people are trapped in this elevator. One woman knows the who works for the criminals or the leader of the cyber police. She's in there as well. And with on a visual level, how the way the visual of the animation goes when the action goes, it's really well done. And when one lead leads to another, that way they find, because they want to get this one guy who's been locked himself in this one room, and you find out that there was another guy with this one guy, but it was the name of Yamashi, and this one guy, they were once they used to work together. They basically designed it for this whole skyscraper, but one basically, I guess, one to across the other, and this one guy killed that one guy, Yamashi. And he's living that with that. It's basically, the guy was dirty anyway, so. But he thinks that it's the same guy that he killed is back, even though supposedly he's dead, right? And our guy Sengoku finds where this other guy is. Even though the leader told him, "Yeah, kill this one guy first," because he's the main focus right now. But the guy doesn't listen, so he goes out to find the guy Yamashi, right? And like I said, on a visual good look, how the way the presentation is, basically. He finds the guy Yamashi, but the guy is basically dead. You see half his skeleton remains rise up as connected by wires. It's basically the remainder of the guy is conscious, even though he's a skeleton basically, but the guy is conscious is wired into the building. That's why he's basically, he controls the building, all the circuitry and computers and stuff like that. And when the guy's attacking, the guy, he initiate the Sengoku's moves, and all these wires attack him. Good action, and but the guy's basically, since he knows anticipating his moves, he's basically just gonna walk up and to him and just shoot him, or I think he shot him or stabbed him. I think he stabbed him in the head, and then everything because it was also during the time he was making the building slowly collapse, and that one guy that he was supposed to kill, he falls off out of the building too. So, but he kills that one guy, the dead guy again, and the other guy fell out of the building because he was no different than what this guy did. So, And afterwards, the funny thing, the robot told Sengoku that, well, since you disobey the order, you get a few years added onto your sentence. And the guy's like, oh, that's bullshit, the yada yada, basically. And then the one cop that was in the elevator with them basically kind of asked him out for dinner. And that's basically the legitimate of this story of this story. So, and it was a good story. So, and I did like the guy of Sengoku, who the rude foul mouth guy, the criminal, you could say. The action it was good because there was a little bit with him with Benton. They were finding some robotic vehicles and nice visual explosions on those, and yeah. But the animation on the action with the animation, it may have it was well done, especially from the early '90s. It was really well made from the animation it was made at the time, and I also give another positive. I also got a good positive. I enjoyed the score to this, but for the score made for the UK score by what was it, Rory McFarlane, who did the UK version score, which I like the UK version score. It was very good. It was very, when it was mixing with the action, when it was getting going, it fitted the stories out like a glove, basically, and it was I was really well action packed type of score, basically, because it fit along with the rest of the stories, and when it goes and mixing well with the animation and the action, I would say, and it helped with the action in this story too. So that was story number 1, which that story was called Memories of the Past. Yeah, so the Memories of the Past. That's the second one I liked, but the one I enjoyed the most was the second story, the Decoy Program. The decoy, or Psychic Troop. Like in UK, it's called, the first story was called Virtual Death, or in the US called Time Bomb. There's in the one I'll present on here. It's called Memories of the Past. And I presented here for the second story is called the Decoy Program. In the UK, it's called Psychic Trooper. In the US, it's called Decoy. But the second story I enjoy the most, because the leads up to focusing on this guy here, Gogol. Yeah, Gogol. Now this story here, he's like the brains of these three criminals. He's very well in the hacking and the computer stuff. Then he gets an investigation about going with these involves these this robotic this murderous robot, which you could say it's like a psychic robot because it can have psychic powers. Which when you see it was called the it was some kind of robot called Malicos. It was some of that almost that name. So, and also there was a girl that they used to work together, not like a love interest though, but they used to work together. This woman, because she was basically it was all a setup from the start though. But she gave him this classified top secret information about this program. But it was all set up anyway, because even the woman told him, I was supposed to, say you up or working for them, but I didn't want to do that, basically. And then the robot shows up. This robot, which is where they use dead bodies and they put them in the robot suits and makes them in power. We give them like psychic abilities as well. But it was a cool look. I like the design look of this cyborg. I like the design look. He could make it like his arms and legs stretch up, and with sharp claws. And he can use this type of attack where he can just like, it's not like a wind attack, but it's kind of like pressurized, because in the opening of this, where this one guy was shooting at, uses like some kind of it opens this thing up, and when it attacked, it made this guy like shatter to pieces, basically. And he did the same thing again, but made the front of the vehicle smash in, basically, like indent itself, basically. And then basically makes the truck drive into the water, and then the woman, what was the name? Her name was Sarah, I think it was. She drowned. Well, Gogo tried to save her, but he gets her out, but she's dead anyway. And there was the pair of the military basically he wanted to use Gogol to make him as a fight against this cyborg. And like I said, I like the look of the cyborg, and the leader of the cyber police goes follows these two guys that he knows in the military, knows about this, and thanks to the transmission they received. So, along with the help of Sengoku and Benton. And I also got funny that the guy Gogol in this, he's funny. He's talking like we have some kind of like a either New York accent, something like that, or Jersey accent, something like that. You know, because he's talking like, you know, how with a well, no, I'm not thinking about like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh, but he was talking with that type of, he was talking like a New York or Brooklyn type accent, you know. I just found that funny. It's like, is he talking with that type of accent or Jersey accent? I don't know, but I find it funny either way, though. But they're using him to fight this prototype, and it was definitely the best fight of this series. Definitely the best fight. First, he's showing the how the cyborg is using his abilities, like his arms like stretch up, and using that one like a pressurized thing to attack him, like send him flying or break these stairs. And it has even despite shooting it a lot of times with missiles, didn't do anything. Or when he beats him, stabs him. Or for a second, almost kind of like blinded because he wears this thing. It's basically used for his eyes, right? But the thing is, though, the guys who made these things, they have a good front row seat from across. And by the way, they're fighting. Gogol and the cyborg are fighting is on top of the inside the Tokyo Tower. Yeah, they're fighting inside the Tokyo Tower. And they realize that Gogol has a weakness, that he doesn't like the loud noise. You know, kind of like how the loud noise, like with the symbiote from Venom from Spider-Man 3, it doesn't like the loud noise. It's like that, but only was done years before Spider-Man 3. So yeah, so he tried to make he makes a banging sound, and use the robot that's been insisting on make a recording to keep on playing at the loud noise to make it all distraught. And then when Benton and Sengoku show up, you know, and but the guy he wants to finish the job himself, though, and he does. He fires a whole bunch of missiles, but then the guy beats the crap out of him, gets him like he makes him like grabs him and tears that one arm off, and or he takes that one plane and it just drags all the way up, making it lose its legs, and then he just really goes and beats the living hell out of it. He go fist pumping, punching, and just go, pah, you know. And that was really great. That's with the animation, visually, with the score and all that. That was the best fight of the scene. It was a really great fight. And just goes beats the crap out of it, giving a uppercut, and that's when one of the guys that helped made the program, holding a gun, is like telling the thing to get up though, but it's dead. And then Gogo just goes and throws the broken arm and throws it in the guy's neck, kills him. And then the leader of the cyber police tells that one guy, you know, you can either turn yourself in or I'll kill you myself, I think it was. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that was the end that's the end of the second story, and that was definitely my favorite of the three. Definitely, The first one I liked though, but the second one was definitely my favorite of the three. So that was like you call it Psychic Trooper. I forgot to mention the psychic. I forgot to mention the psychic. I said psychic robot, but I forgot to mention that because it had psychic powers too. Because there was some falling metal debris. It was gonna land on it though, but the robot used like its psychic to make the things levitate, I guess, and for net to just right above its head. So I forgot to mention the psychic ability of that though, because I said it was a psychic robot. But yeah, the second story was definitely the best one. Now we'll get into the last one, which now involves centers on Benton. It is called Crimson Media, or the UK called Bloodlust, and in the US called The Vampire. Yeah, so this one involves vampirism now. I got quickly mentioned about the character of Benton. I mentioned the character of Benton. To me, he kind of resembles David Bowie in a way when he starred in the movie Labyrinth. I mean, because he had the long white hair, and although he didn't, this guy here doesn't. I'm not saying he's a little bit trans because he's wearing lipstick and he has earrings and he has red painted fingernails, but the white hair. The long white hair kind of made me resemble he kind of looks like David Bowie from Labyrinth. And of the characters, as the three characters, he's the guy I kind of like the least though. But I'm saying he's not a bad character because I did like a couple of things he does though. But I think I like of the three characters I like. Sengoku better because just how he's always sarcastic and just very rude and foul mouthed to everybody else. And but the guy I don't think it's not the guy's not bad. He does a good moments in there as well. But of the three, he's my least favorite though. But in this story here, because it now involves vampires. Because there's this vampire. Basically, there's this vampire woman, which the Benton knew, because they had a conversation earlier, and she killed 3 of these geneticists. Which at first they worked for this one guy, this really old guy in a wheelchair, and the guy Benton, he's poking around, asking people different questions. Do you know these people? One that leads to another that it involves because the guy made this serum, and he tested this woman who was in cryo state because she had a disease and she put in cryo state, in order to be cured until they found a cure. But that old guy in the wheelchair, he's a dickhead basically. Used this one woman as a guinea pig to use the serum on her to see if it works, and it does because she was the only one that survived it. And Benton wants to help her, and which ultimately leads up to the fight in this building until it confronts the old guy. The old guy took the serum, makes him younger, but he's a vampire. Bites into the woman, and then leads to this fight. Leads into the fight with Benton, and Benton had this you see him use it throughout this whole series. He had this kind of a string. Kind of which basically it can cut through anything. It was kind of a string that you just pull, and basically it can cut through anything. Because earlier in this one, these guys put him in a cage, not intimidated at all. He used these to get out easily and cuts this guy's hand off, and they all just run away like bitches. But then he fights the old guy. Well, not the old guy, but now he's fully healed now, vampire. At first he kicks he gets his butt kicked a little bit. He gets stabbed and he gets cut a bit here. Which leads to he did have a moment where he thought he finished him, where he because also boys leads into space also as well. Cause I guess the guy had a thing in space, I guess, because he had there was a medical spaceship there, and he leads into this one room where he opens the gate up where where the room was depressurized, and the guy visually makes the guy like explode basically because it was depressurized, and goes out of outer space. But that didn't work because since he's immortal, basically puts himself back together again. And he also has teleportation, so he teleported all of his pieces back into the building and put himself back together. But then, because of what Gogo gave him, this weapon they each one of these guys had, but he laced it with not to say silver or something like that, but it was some kind of thing that would kill him. So he stabs into that, and then the guy basically almost becomes skeletal and kills him. And then after that, he makes the woman who's still alive. She just wants to be put, she wants to just put back to sleep and have nice dreams again. And I did like the idea, that because she had rose petals in her tube as well, and make sure now you can. Benton telling her you can have sweet dreams from now on now. So he puts her back in the tube, falling asleep, and then basically he launches her into space. So that way that she can never be, not that she can ever be found again, but, that's one part though, but, now before that, he did kind of like, because before he launches her into space, but he gives her a kiss. And now that she can now just forever have happy dreams now, because by the time when she was in cryo state, it was 300 years ago. But before she got put into cryo state, it was 300 years ago. But now, everything here she loved was gone now. So, it's best for her to basically just sleep in peace forever now, and just be launched fully into space now, an infant forever now. But even though Benton has mentioned, though, nothing lasts forever. So Cyber City Oedo 808. I really enjoyed it. Now, listen, the stories, number 2 is my favorite, then followed by number 1, and then number 3. The characters, like I said, I think I like Sigoku more than Gogul and then Benton. Visually, like I said, for the made it was in the 90s, I thought it was very well made. When it came to the action, definitely the animation held up, along with the score as well. And each story, each story was well paced. I didn't felt I was bored with it because I was very much engaged with our characters here and what their mission is. So it wasn't. It didn't feel boring, and it was well paced enough. And for the animation, it was very well made, and I like the design look of the Cyber City version of Tokyo, which it's very futuristic because it takes place in the year 2808. So definitely it shows visually what this futuristic look was. And the characters, like I said, I like the characters, but in the order I like them in. As for the other characters, like the leader of the cyber police, who always threatens them. If they don't do something, he always threatens them. Yeah, he always puts on a clock for each of the characters. You have a certain amount of time, or else I'll detonate your collar. And the policewoman who was with, we saw him in the elevator, but she pops up every now and then in all 3 stories. So she pops up like every now and then. The robot, especially I like when Sengoku was being rude to the robot, like the point where the robot was like, "Fuck," That's the definition for that word is when it comes to like intimate relationships or mating between a man and a woman. So that word should not apply when you say that to me. Or funny more when Benton in the 3rd story was referring about vampires, and Benton tells Sigoku, tells him, like, you wouldn't know what a vampire was if it came up and bit you in the dick. I did get a chuckle out of that from Benton, so So some of the dialogue I thought was pretty funny, and it's definitely, like I said, it definitely is R-rated. Definitely doesn't hold back on the language, and lots of good bloody moments as well. So yeah, from the 19 so we ran from 1990 till the last one debuted in 1991. So I'll put in here. I'll put 1990 to 1991. Just to be fair on it. So yeah, but it was definitely well made for what was time for the 90s, definitely. And it was very well paced as well. So the score I enjoyed, the UK score. The English voice cast, I thought they did a good job as well. I didn't think it was bad. Whereas if I find with the guy here doing like sort of like a Jersey or New York Brooklyn accent though, but it was still funny. So yeah, Cyber City Oedo 808 I enjoyed. For 3 OVA series, I enjoyed it. So yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen this film, I say film, but it's an OVA series. But if you watch them together, it's kind of like a movie though. But if you haven't seen this OVA series, I advise you to check out Cyber City Oedo 808. It's fun. I would say it's fun. Action is good, and the score and everything else the positive things said about it, I enjoyed. So yeah, so Cyber City Oedo 808, I give a thumbs up to it, definitely. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next review for Anime Month. Later.